If true, this changes everything for the Toronto Raptors, as it's been no secret that this team has been shopping off some of their veterans ahead of this year's trade deadline, and Bruce Brown is the biggest name, and the fact that he hasn't played a ton of games this season, has been injured, has hurt his trade value. But a recent rumor, recent discussion, discourse online sparked by a guy saying his insider information essentially reveals that the Toronto Raptors are in talks for an absolute heist for Bruce Brown, a deal that works perfectly and makes sense for the Lakers to do, but really just in terms of what the Toronto Raptors could be looking for, what the Toronto Raptors could get for their veteran wing player, this is an absolute finesse, a steal, whatever verbiage you want to use. So we'll break down what these rumors, what these sort of discussions are saying, what it means to the Toronto Raptors, and frankly, why this is the perfect sort of scenario for the Toronto Raptors entering this year's trade deadline, particularly for a Bruce Brown trade. So lots of stuff to discuss in this video. But before we do, folks, again, if you guys are a part of the 67% of our viewers that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on with this Toronto Raptors team, all the latest discussions, rumors, reports with this Raptors squad leading to the trade deadline, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, because we're delivering daily Toronto Raptors news coverage out here on the channel. But let's dive into this, because it's no surprise to any Toronto Raptors fan that's been following this team since last year's trade deadline. It's year one of a rebuild. We're going younger, and we've brought in some vets that will, of course, help shape the culture of the franchise, but also will be valuable assets in terms of making moves, making trades ahead of this year's deadline to build up for the future. That's the clear direction. It's been made clear by the coaching staff, by the GMs, the Masai, Ujiri, by everyone out here now at this point in terms of what the Toronto Raptors plans are. And the main guy that in theory could net us the most trade value, has been the most talked about guy. It feels like every week we're getting a new report, new rumor regarding him, is Bruce Brown. But now that he's actually back in action, now that we're actually in trade season and moves have already started to go down across the NBA. In fact, the Lakers have started to make moves. All eyes are more sort of turned, heads are more turned towards Bruce Brown and what could be going on. Well, we do have a report, and this is what has sparked all of this discussion, what has sparked all of this discourse, as essentially sources have told that this is coming from Chris Davis, who is an account that has been gaining a ton of traction, has been gaining a ton of stuff, and has gotten some stuff right in the recent weeks in terms of reporting things in the NBA, but of course doesn't have a deep track record like, even some of the guys from ESPN, some of the local beat reporters. But he has come out and said now that the Toronto Raptors and Los Angeles Lakers have engaged in trade discussions centered around a potential deal sending Bruce Brown to LA in exchange for Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent and multiple 2025 second-round picks. The Lakers are looking to shed salary while adding Bruce Brown's championship experience and to boost the short term. Now, the Lakers, again, their second-round picks, 20 multiple in 2025, that is what it is. Whether it's 2025, whether it's 2026, whatever years that they are actually shaping up to be in terms of the specifics, this framework of a trade just makes perfect sense for the Toronto Raptors. And of course, you can look at the players that are being switched back and forth, and frankly, the Toronto Raptors are getting a solid guy out there in Rui Hachimura in one of these trade packages, especially for the level of production that's been going on right now for Bruce Brown, right? Bruce Brown this season hasn't been great, 5.4 points per game, 2 rebounds, 60% from the three-point line. You might be like, hey, why the heck would any team on earth be interested in making one of these moves happen for Bruce Brown? Why are any teams interested? Well, basically, Bruce Brown does have a track record of being very good basketball player. Is coming back from injury on a team where it's, not the perfect fit for him whatsoever, right? Bruce Brown, just a couple seasons ago, was averaging like 11 points per game, or just last season, averaging 11 points per game the season prior, won a championship. Bruce Brown's trade value is not just what he's doing with the Toronto Raptors this season. So that's all one thing we have to realize and have to understand. But you look at it and say, hey, Rui Hachimura, isn't he good? Yeah, he actually is good. 12 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 1.5 assists, is shooting 41% from the three-point line, shooting 39% of corner threes, is only 26 years old, has some high upside. Yes, he does have his ups and downs, has struggled in the playoffs at times, but also has had some decent playoff highs as well. I mean, Rui Hachimura is a very intriguing basketball player, and you might look at this and be like, Ben, why on earth would the Lakers make a trade like this? The Lakers are trying to compete. They've been pretty solid about the Western Conference? Well, the other name listed into this is Gabe Vincent, who is a guy that's not been as good. 4 points per game, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Just hasn't been that great. And Shake Milton is a guy that they kind of view as a backup point guard position from everything I've read on the LA Lakers. I have all the Lakers Digest videos I've been watching. Definitely check those out. But basically, these two guys in combination, this is not a player-for-player swap. What this deal is and what Masai Ujiri can capitalize on if one of these deals to go down, because, again, the Raptors rebuilding. We're not worried about, signing big free agents this upcoming offseason. We're not too worried about making these big moves to contend right now. We're about stockpiling assets, having trade pieces, flexible contracts and stuff to be able to make moves. And that's why we signed back Bruce Brown, so we can facilitate deals like this. What you're doing with this deal for the Toronto Raptors, you're bringing in 2 solid players. You're bringing in multiple second-round draft picks. You have some draft capital for this Raptors team. And then what you're doing for the LA Lakers, why they do this move is because the NBA cap is just an absolutely handcuff on a ton of these teams, especially like the LA Lakers that love making a ton of different moves, that love making a ton of different things. And right now, they're pretty hamstrung with a ton of contracts, for this upcoming season, right? You have, is that $57 million for Anthony Davis? You have $52 million coming next year for LeBron James. And then you have, currently, Rui Hachimura is pegged to make $18 million. You have Dorian Finney-Smith who's making $15. You have Austin Reeves making $13. You have, right now, Gabe Vincent making $11. You have Jared Vanderbilt making $11. You have Max Christie making $7. You have a lot of money on your books for this upcoming season. And frankly, Rui Hachimura, as we saw, is a good basketball player, but $18 million isn't really that third-tier tertiary star the LA Lakers would be that interested in looking for. And then you have Gabe Vincent making $11.5 million, averaging 4 points per game. He can't really stay out there on the court. That is another dude that is just not that intriguing, not that enticing for LA Lakers front office, especially during a time in the NBA, period in the NBA, when the hard cap is much more of a handcuff on a lot of NBA organizations than it has been in seasons past. So this is a deal to get money off the books of LA Lakers. They're willing to give up second round draft capital, and then they also get a guy in return that is solid, that can be a solid piece. Maybe the Raptors have to attach Chris Boucher in there to make sure the Lakers stay in win now mode. That's something they'd be intrigued by. But the Raptors get some intriguing pieces, in Rui Hachimura, especially as an actual basketball player. You get some second-round picks, which nets you some draft capital out there for the future. And given Bruce Brown's current status, I don't think you're going to get more than multiple second-round picks for him here now at this point. And then you also, bring in a couple of trade pieces, because next season, when Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent are expiring contracts, you bring in some expiring deals that allows the Toronto Raptors to make other deals, facilitate other trades for upcoming seasons. It just makes a ton of sense for this Raptors group to make one of these moves happen, to make a deal like this. And frankly, I'd be down. And it also helps, Rui Hachimura, if he's playing well, he could be a future piece for this Raptors squad. So let me know what you guys think about this deal in the comment section down below. You guys best take it first. Regardless, if it's true, then it really does, it's a big move for the Toronto Raptors. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You guys best take it first. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.